Hello, dear House Church friends. Coming at you today with these thoughts of how important it is that we fix our eyes on Jesus. If you listened to the message on Sunday, you would have heard about how important it was for King Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, to have his eyes fixed on Jesus for every area of life, every sphere of life, political life, military life, the social life, economic and financial life. Affected every sphere of his life, and it affected the people. Later in his life, he allowed his eyes to wander, and he began to try and find answers to very serious issues, things like an enemy that needed to be addressed. And so he made alliances with ungodly kings. And God really spoke very harshly and clearly that Jehoshaphat should have trusted God first and foremost, and God would have made a way. In our house churches, we're going to be exploring this question of what does it mean to have our eyes fixed on Jesus in every sphere of life? Is that something that we can even do? Because honestly, it seems kind of foreign to us in things like politics. If you're talking about American politics or Canadian politics, Jesus doesn't come up very much. And to be quite frank, it doesn't even really come up that much among Christians. And I think that God would want to nudge us a little bit by his Spirit and through his word and say to us, are there ways that you are not fixing your eyes on my Son, who is the author and perfecter of faith? Faith is the ability to be able to live in things with a belief that what we're seeing is not necessarily the way it should be, but also to be able to actually enact the things of God in this world through our speech, through our beliefs, through our actions. Very challenging. Very, very challenging. And so I want to invite you into that challenge to hear the words of God about how to fix your eyes on Jesus and beyond what our familiar arenas of belief might be. So we believe in Jesus for salvation, and we're going to be meeting him in heaven after this life. But what are our beliefs about faith in Jesus in things that happen here on earth all around us, things that I just described? Well, God had some things to say to Jehoshaphat about how he wasn't believing for things. He didn't have faith in God for some of the things here on earth, and God, that mattered to God, and it still does. So we're going to challenge ourselves a little bit and ask some of these questions, and then ask the Lord to give us discernment on how we can follow him in every sphere of our lives. It's a process for sure, but we have to be able to at least ask the questions, and then we certainly want to give him opportunity to speak to us. I want to speak blessing over each and every one of you. Every one of you are on a journey right now. Every one of you are facing some things that are challenging you in maybe small ways or very, very significant ways. On a personal level, I want you to know you're not alone. Of course, you know that you're not the first one to go through this, but that doesn't sound very comforting if you're in the middle of something. But I want to speak to you and say, you aren't alone. There are people who love you. There's people in your house church that really want to reach into your lives and be listening ears, but also faith builders to help move forward and through that which you're facing. And of course, the most important thing is that Jesus, his love for you is unending, and there is nothing in all creation that can separate you from the love of Christ. That's a reality, it's a promise, and that's his faithful pledge to you. And I just speak that blessing over you, friends. So as you engage in your discussion this week, I just pray that God would reveal his glory to you as you talk about what it means to have your eyes fixed on Jesus. Bless you, my friends, and bye for now.